Díaz de León.
This is Omar Waheed.
And this is Rob Chappell.
And it's 365 Amplified. We're back this week with lots of things to cover.
Lots to talk about. In a little bit, Prenicia Clifton will join us. She's organizing the revitalization of Madison Nonprofit Day next week. So that's very exciting. So she'll join us shortly. And we are going to be busy then the rest of the day and the rest of the weekend in preparation for the 365 Leadership Summit.
This is true.
Which is happening Monday. It kind of takes over our lives.
And then it's done.
And then it goes away and it's done. But that's, people can still register, right?
Okay, Rob.
I think that's a no.
I mean,
technically, yes.
Technically, yes.
You probably won't get a name tag, though.
Yeah, you might not get an official name tag.
I mean, you can just show up places.
You can just, we're not going to turn anybody away because we want people to be there. It's such an opportunity to gather all together and learn with each other and just connect too. Like some of it is just seeing each other in the halls.
It's a hotel. Anyone can enter.
And that's Omar being very simple. It's open, y'all. Just come in.
I do it all the time.
He's like, just come for the pens.
Half of journalism is walking into places and just acting like you belong there.
Oh, of course. When I'm doing journalism for evil, I'll wear my USA Today press pass. It's
Journalism for evil feels like a comic book series.
I like it.
based on the New York Times.
I was going to say.
We're going to talk more about journalism for evil.
We are going to talk about that soon.
In a little bit.
That was not purposeful, but it does sound like a comic book series that we all should buy and learn from.
Yeah, I'm having ideas now. Before we get to that, though, two news items to talk about. The first is something we talked about a little bit last week. We've got some more information, and more information is coming. FoodShare is going to be gone tomorrow. As you listen to this Friday, November 1st, there will be no more SNAP benefits, Supplemental Nutrition Access Program, and which means anybody, something like 700,000 people here in Wisconsin, will have at least several $100s less to spend on groceries.
Yep.
Which
is impactful.
Which is impactful, which means that food pantries are bracing for impact and need help. So if you're able, I did speak with a couple of food pantries last week. I'll link to that story at Madison365.org. But basically, financial donations are the best deal for them. Yeah,
they only have so much room.
Yeah.
So I know people want to bring whatever they have available or what they've purchased in the store. Just check with them directly. Usually on their websites, they often say what they're accepting and what they're not accepting. But it is hard to keep. They only have so much storage room, too.
Right.
Also, don't grab the can in the back of your cupboard that you forgot about.
Don't give poor people your garbage.
That's
disrespectful. And just not thoughtful, right?
You did it during the can drive in elementary school. And that's what your parents gave you.
Or you're a kid and you just grabbed whatever. You didn't know. But we're old enough to know, and I hope we're thinking about that in different ways and such like that.
Food pantries have been pretty loud about that fact. Stop doing that, please. We're not your garbage man.
Right.
Yeah.
But anything non-perishable also is appreciated. And there's going to be long lines.
Yeah. It is going to be, incredibly significant. And again, in Wisconsin, SNAP benefits over 698,000 folks, right? Including 275,644 children who are impacted by this. That is about almost 12% of the state's population, just to give us some consideration and some idea of this, right? And how big that impact is, and how many people are affected by this and such. It is getting colder. There are a different number of folks across the country who are losing their jobs right now. We keep hearing of corporations who are laying off folks before the holidays and such, which means that need only increases. And I understand it is incredibly overwhelming to turn on the news, and incredibly overwhelming to feel like you know what to do in this place, right? Or in this position. Supporting local has an impact. Mm-hmm. You know, listening and hearing the news to understand how it might impact your community is important. So it is a privilege to be able to turn off your TV and not have to hear the news. There's some positionality in that, and I hope folks recognize and realize, like, yes, absolutely take a break, but then come back in and figure out how you can support your local community. And like Rob said, he will share opportunities in Dane County that you can support and help benefit from. I'm sure there are going to be some food drives with your local schools that might need help. You know what? And even thinking about like helping to clear folks or students' lunch balances is helpful, is needed right now. Like, so even little things like that, even giving a little bit of that to help support locally will have an impact for you and your community.
It's also about local business also, because when you this isn't magic money that just disappears when you use the card. No. It's money that goes to the grocery store from the federal government where you use your stamp card. Yep. Which means if there's 700,000 people who are no longer spending that money at grocery stores, that's all money out of the pockets of those grocery stores, many of which are just local small businesses. And
whether we recognize it or not, too, like local federal workers are not getting paid right now.
Yeah.
So we're not even talking, that's in addition to SNAP benefits also be taken away, right? So there are a lot of folks who are in need of what community food banks and food shares are offering, besides those who also get SNAP benefits.
Right, exactly right. And there's a press conference later today on Thursday, as we record this on Thursday, which will have already happened by the time you're hearing this, but Omar's going to attend that. That's Representative Sheila Stubbs is leading it. Mm-hmm. Yep. And who else is?
Senator Diane Hasselbein.
Yep.
Melissa Ratcliffe and Congressman Mark Pocan.
Okay, so they're either going to announce some legislative fix that will never go anywhere because they're all Democrats, or some ways people can connect and help. We'll have that story up for you at Madison365.org.
Expect a Wisdems, please donate email. Or, I don't know, the $7 billion surplus in Wisconsin that's never given any plans to use. Emergency continuous SNAP.
I just want to remind people the folks who are most impacted are kids, of course, families, farmers in Wisconsin, everybody, seniors, veterans. Like, it's a breadth of people right now that are being impacted in so many different ways.
So keep an eye on that at Madison365.org. The other thing we want to talk about news-wise is a little bit later, and that is LOUD, which is Latinos Organizing for Understanding and Development, has a new gallery space. And Omar talked with Oscar Morales.
Yes, before he went out of town again.
Because, as you say in the story, he is technically, in quotes, retired.
He is technically retired.
Which means he's no longer head of Omega School, but I don't think retired is how you could ever describe Oscar.
No, I was going to say, like, he's not really retired. No. He goes on vacation.
He does. He's actually thinking about moving to Dubuque.
Wow. Are you like giving him some?
No, I didn't even feed that to him.
Oh, were you like, was that you? Like, you should go there.
I was like, oh yeah, you should go to Dubuque. Dubuque is great.
Why Dubuque? What's in Dubuque?
Dubuque has a actually very big rising art scene.
Yeah, but they have a huge art scene.
That surprises me.
You should go to Dubuque more. Iowa.
I spent some formative years in Dubuque because I went to school at Platteville, which is right there. So, like, Dubuque is where we had to go to for like movies and stuff.
You didn't stay for the arts?
That was the arts.
That was the arts. Yeah.
Don't forget,
Kennedy Mall Cinema. Was the
Rob
arts in Dubuque.
His developing years were in the 20th century, not the 21st. So
fair enough. Yeah. But there's a very big art scene there, and it's actually been growing.
That's cool.
And they're getting a lot of money to invite artists out there. So Dubuque is actually leaning into their growing arts thing, and Oscar's like, I'm retired. All of it's very cheap. It's like 40% lower cost of living in Dubuque.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're retired,
that's where you want to,
that's where all the art is.
Yeah.
But for now, he opened a new gallery space at Next Wave Studios, which has the largest infinity wall, and it's actually the largest photography and video studio space in Dane County. They just have 2 large warehouse-style buildings. Oscar is in one of them. Next Wave is technically in both of them, but mostly just in the other one there. So he's there, and he's inviting artists around the world, actually, to come out and actually be there. He talked about this with me before in the past. Stuff with Loud usually is a little bit more local, except for kind of the bigger, more grand events. But now he wants to do more regular sourcing of artists from all over. The first artist he had in residence is La Pistola from Oaxaca.
Oaxaca.
I was like, ooh.
I don't know.
Look at Rob.
That's why
Rob
I
came
said
in and
that,
he's like, I got it.
like a question. From Oaxaca. They formed during the teacher revolution there, and the large art movement that followed it, especially the street art style, political protest art. And they've been going strong. They're the first artists there. They had a masterclass style workshop where Oscar invited some previous people from Loud's Latino Arts Fair to speak. They did a print workshop where they made T-shirts and people came and bought them with La Pistola's art on it. And then he took La Pistola out to see art. So they're not just making arts. They're not just showing off their art. They're going to go look at other people's art. They looked at stuff like Frida Kahlo, Jose Posada, Diego Rivera. Just very rare prints that they have in Madison's art museums to really look at what can be done with so little and growing from that. So that's actually over. But it's a long-term gallery space, so there's going to be plenty of other artists to come out there.
And tell us where that is again.
That is on the east side, on Hegelson Drive.
All right, and that story is up at madison365.org. We'll link to that in the show notes. And last thing before we get to Prenicia, Clifton, is there's a podcast I would recommend to everybody called Question Everything, which is
it's a good podcast.
This is Brian Anderson, journalist. It's a media and journalism show, and they're talking to journalists all the time, and so it's right down the middle for us. But I recommend this week's episode specifically because it's all about media capture, which is one of the steps when government is trying to become an authoritarian regime. You have to capture the media. You have to control the narrative and control the information that people get. And he talked to a journalist from Georgia, the country, who grew up in the Soviet Union and sort of watched Vladimir Putin and friends capture the media there. And it's happening here. And I don't think I have to. I mean, our listeners probably kind of are aware of this, but it doesn't just mean the government taking over the media and becoming like a state-owned propaganda machine, although that exists. But it's also like allies of the regime or administration, whatever you want to call it, taking over, so that the private media companies are still taking directives from the government. And we're seeing that at the national level just very clearly and happening very fast. You have the Ellisons bought CBS and Paramount, and then they bought the Free Press, and they installed Barry Weiss as the editor of CBS News.
Very wise of all people.
Yeah.
Of all people, who has never been a news reporter, has always been an opinion.
And I recommend, I know we're going to give some information about it, but I also recommend people to, again, question everything. Go read about them, and you will find, this person is maybe not, is not the person who should be in this role.
No TV experience, no actual journalism experience. She was an opinion writer, and started Free Press as what she called a heterodox news outlet, but completely unconcerned with truth.
It was all rumor and conjecture,
and like twisting of facts.
Oh, of course,
and that same company now is trying to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, which owns CNN. So they're trying to buy the entire national news media and control what you get in terms of your information diet, and to make sure that information aligns with the goals of the administration, which is literally media capture. That's what it's all about. Lest you think, and this stays at a national level, this is going to happen locally. It's already happening locally. Sinclair Broadcasting owns local TV stations, including Fox 47 here in Madison. Thankfully, they haven't captured the news outlet, the news operation there, because of contracts with other entities.
Sinclair would never sell their things. They're one of the greediest companies out there.
But Channel 3 does the news on Channel 47 and doesn't take their directives, so they don't do the mandatory editorial statements and whatnot. In any case, your daily newspaper here and several other radio stations and TV stations are owned by national companies, which are gonna want to curry favor with the government. They always do. That's how it works. Radio stations, broadcasters, television stations have licenses. Local stations have licenses that are granted by the federal government, which can be threatened. Right?
It has been threatened. We've seen it right now. We've only really seen it at like the late night host sort of level, right?
Yep.
But absolutely quietly, it's happening at local levels.
And you're going to start to see self-censorship. And you have started to see that at the national level, but you're going to see it at the local level also.
And also at the level of like college newspapers, Indiana University, for example.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Abruptly, like one day said, you're done with your print editions, and let go of it. It's like editor-in-chief at the time, or because of financial reasons, and also because to validate and sort of perform in front of certain folks, that are looking to control and minimize media. Yeah. And that is an important part in local movements, etc., is the college student newspaper.
Yeah.
Historically, those papers are important in telling the story of what's happening on campus at that time, and capturing and engaging, and as well questioning the decisions that are being made at an administrative state level, right? And that's important.
Well, the only reason we really know about the details of the civil rights movement that we do is because they were covered by local newspapers.
Yeah, including community and in college level newspapers, right?
Exactly right. So why are we talking about this? What we're getting to is that it is more important than ever, and we say this every year, that it's more important than ever to support local media. But literally right now, it is more important than it has ever been that local communities have access to and support local independent news outlets that cannot be captured, that haven't been captured and that cannot be captured. And in some measure that includes nonprofits, because nobody can, we can't be bought. Like, there's nothing to buy, right? By a major national corporation.
I don't know. Omar says, like, you can maybe buy me. He's like, well, what's the number?
Yeah, give me a number.
There's let's not shut down all offers.
He could be bought.
It depends on the number.
Yeah. Look, he was raised right. It's not for lower than like 100 million.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. He was raised in Iowa. 25.
So
Still a little high. Well, we'll get to that number. Just know if you have a lot of money, you could support Madison 365 and buy Omar.
There are ands in this conversation. Not
the deal only gets better.
Yeah. The reason we're talking about this right now is not only that it's happening, but also starting tomorrow, November 1st, anything you donate to Madison 365 gets doubled. The Institute for Nonprofit News has been doing this, I want to say since 2017 or so, I think was the first time we were in on it. They've got a coalition of foundations and funders who just put a bunch of money in a pot and divvy it up among all of the INN members. And what they're trying to do, they're trying not only just to write us a check, right, which is would be nice, but they're also trying to inspire you, listener, to get in on it and to support and to create that buy-in among our local communities. So if you're listening to this, obviously you value what we do and you value local independent media and you value the type of media that's not going to take the federal government line all the time, and it's going to tell stories that aren't told by other outlets. And I will say also, we have seen, and you can't really quantify this yet, but we will. We've seen the coverage of communities of color diminish
significantly.
Right. It when we started, other outlets in town started to do it more.
Yeah.
And then 2020 happened and they started to do it a lot more. And now it's kind of now that DEI is no longer a thing or whatever, or nobody in the mainstream wants to talk about diversity anymore.
It's by long running theory that none of them wanted to do this at all.
Yeah.
Right. And they felt like they had to in 2020.
Honestly, if they just never would have done it.
Yeah.
No one would have paid attention to that.
Right.
So.
Right. You're 100% right, Omar, that a lot of places didn't really want to do it and didn't really want to tell the stories, didn't really want to cover the black and brown people. But that's all we've ever done. Mm-hmm. And so as they sort of regress to the mean and kind of forget all that, we're still here and we're still trying to do this work. And the major funders, the people that write the big checks to us, that really allow us to do this, are going to feel pressure.
Are already feeling pressure.
They're also in the nonprofit sector, which is not just like political pressure, but just like we don't have as much money as we used to give you. So that means more than ever we need you, listener. Who, if you're spending an hour or so every Friday listening to us. Clearly this means something to you, and and it's free. It's always going to be free. We are never going to start charging for news. And that's a whole other ethical diatribe that I do sometimes. But
you will save that for another week.
We'll save that for another day. Maybe next week I'll give my whole lecture about how it's unethical to charge for news. But we're never going to charge you. But if you have $5 to spend to send us, we get 10.
For less than a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I know. Right now it's less.
Yeah.
Even for decaf. I've been drinking decaf, y'all, and that's still expensive.
What's the point?
I'm tricking myself.
But the thing is, if you, and anything up to $1,000 from an individual, has to be from an individual, not from a company. So what they're not trying to do is spark advertising buys.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right. They're trying to find individuals to give us donations. Anything up to $1,000 they match from an individual, to a total of like 15,000, I think. And then, here's the best part of it, I think, is if you do a monthly, if you go to our website, madison365.org/donate, a couple of clicks and you're done, and you choose to give us $5 a month instead of $60 at once, they'll match your entire year commitment. Mm-hmm. So you say $5 a month, it comes out of your account automatically. Maybe you don't even notice it. They give us another 60 right away, right? So it's super easy and it's like no questions asked, and it's a big lump sum that we get, in the spring. And that's really, really important to keep us going and to keep us doing this work. So thanks for listening to that. Thanks for not hitting the 30 seconds ahead button through my whole pitch.
And if you did, you should feel bad and go back.
Yeah,
'Cause-
listen to it.
Yeah.
Or just make a donation. And you don't have to listen to the pitch, just make the donation. All right. With that, we'll be right back with Prenicia Clifton. And we're back, and joining us now, the organizer of Madison Nonprofit Day, coming up next week, Friday, November 7th. Prenicia Clifton, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Doing wonderful. Thank you for giving us the time. This is a nonprofit that is not new, but it has been, but it's kind of coming back, right? Can you tell us about that? Tell us, first of all, just tell us what Madison Nonprofit Day is, and kind of the story of where it comes from.
Sure. So Madison Nonprofit Day is like the premier professional development opportunity for nonprofits in Dane County. And it came out of Collab for Good under Alnisa All Good, who believed that everybody should have this information and be able to network and collaborate together to build stronger nonprofits in Dane County. So this is its 7th year, but we were on pause for 2 years, and we've just kind of revamped back up, and we're ready to go.
And my memory of the earlier ones and of collaboration for good more broadly is the kind of to treat the nonprofit sector in a more professional way. Is that kind of like the bottom line here?
Pretty much. I mean, a lot of times when we think of nonprofits, we think of people as just winging it. And we wanted to really crowdsource information and really put intentionality around how we serve, especially during this political climate. One, we have to prove our value. And two, we have to show that we're capable of doing the work that we said we're going to do. So this professional development is the opportunity to show just that.
Yeah. I know Alisa has been a long time advocate of considering nonprofit leaders, nonprofit executives as executives, just as a CEO of a business or whatever. Because like you're doing important things and you're managing big budgets, you're managing people, and it's not like I say, it's not winging it. It's a real business, but from a different perspective, right?
Absolutely. And usually professional development is the last thing invested in because we're investing so much in community and in the people that we work for that we need to take a step back and make sure we develop ourselves so we can do the work safely. So
that's so interesting. That's so interesting when budgets are tight. And somebody who maybe a mid-level manager at a nonprofit goes to the boss and says, "I need a couple $100 to go to this seminar." That's the first couple $100 is going to get cut, right?
Absolutely. Or let me put on my youth protection lens and talk about how when folks need to hire volunteers or select volunteers, and sometimes the last thing that's done is background checks on volunteers, which is how a lot of times people get access to children and vulnerable populations. So people who want to prey on children prey on the fact that we're underfunded and can't really train and screen and vet as well as like a larger organization. So we're putting these tools in the hands of everybody through Madison Nonprofit Day.
Who should attend Madison Nonprofit Day?
If you are a community member that wants to hold your nonprofits accountable, if you are a nonprofit manager and want to better develop your organization, if you work for a nonprofit and you want to expand your role in your nonprofit organization, you should attend. So basically, anyone that believes in the work should show up for the work.
And what can you expect to take away? What's like? Just kind of give us the sense of the day and what you're going to learn if you're there.
So we kind of broken it down into 3 different segments. 1 is show me the money. 2 is how do I do this work safely and well? And 3, how do I collaborate with others? So at the beginning, we're going to have a social impact panel where they talk about how they select which organizations to invest in, what is the future of funding looking like, and things like that. And then the second part, it will have basically like a match dating game. Like, how do you find your perfect community collaborator during this time when money is short? And so we have to learn how to crowdsource resources. So we're kind of matching each other up and learning how to pair up or, group up organizations. And then we will have like a after lunch time where we can actually come together as collaborators and get to discuss different topics that are important to us. One of the biggest topics that, of course, are out there is like transition planning. Like, what do we do when our nonprofit leader resigns or something comes up? Do we have a transition plan? So that's one of the topics that we will cover. And we've actually left an entire 90 minutes for us to really just have these community conversations so we can professionally develop each other. And then we'll have a closing keynote, and I'm actually doing the closing keynote based on some of the things that have been happening in Dane County from Sun Prairie to Madison, where our children are getting harmed in these nonprofit and these youth serving spaces. So we're actually going to talk about the abuse equation, where it says 95% of abuse is preventable through education. So that is an all conference attendee option where we break down how to keep your kids safe and how to report, like if something is going on. And then we'll end with the social impact happy hour, where we're going to recognize a social impact officer that has made a great difference here in Dane County. So we had quite a few nominations, and we're kind of excited to announce the winner at the event.
Oh, that's fantastic. I want to touch back on that succession planning thing, because so many nonprofits are basically like one person just sees a need, wants to do something good in their neighborhood, in their community, and then that grows into a nonprofit. But that nonprofit is so tied up in that one person that when they get, either when they want to retire or get a job or get burned out or something like that, there's nobody there to pick up that mantle. So like having that succession plan is important for any business, but for these nonprofits too, because otherwise the work just stops, right?
Right. So we talk about historical documentation of your interactions with the community is going to be a big part of that conversation. And then also developing within the community you're serving so that somebody that's already there can step up and take that place and can continue on the work. Organizations should have never been about one person. They should have been about the organization as a whole and the community as a whole. And I think right now in Dane County, we associate a lot of nonprofits with a person's name versus their work. And so that's what we're hoping to change with the succession conversation.
Also, I want to plug the opening panel. Are all women that we know: Angela Davis from Madison Community Foundation, Shiva Bidar-Sila from UW Health, Angela Russell from True Stage, and Renee Moe, CEO of the United Way of Dane County. Those four women have about $1 bajillion that they give out every year.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And they're going to talk about how to access that money, right? Like what we're looking for when we're making decisions about who to give money to, what we're looking for. So that's like really, really valuable information if you are a growing nonprofit and or just need to access that.
Well, and think about it.
Capital.
Funding is being cut federally, nationwide and everything else. Right. And so we have to rely on these kind of like private sector donations. So now they have even more people competing for that same pool of money. So it's important that you make yourself as marketable as possible.
All right. So it's not Madison Nonprofit Day. It's Friday, November 7th. Give us the details, like the when and the where.
All right. So we will be at True Stage, which is 5910 Mineral Point Road in Madison, Wisconsin. Doors will open at 8:15 with the first session starting at 9 a.m. Parking is available. You must register to attend. You can go to seeingisbelievin.com to click on the link to register in our Reg Box. And come on out.
And how much does it cost?
Oh, okay. So right now, our general admission tickets are $45. But if you want to pledge towards the work, we have additional tickets that are like Changemaker tickets or people that are blueprint builders. And the blueprint and Changemaker tickets are $100 and $150. And basically what they do is, they're part of the social impact happy hour. They're also mentioned in the program as dedicated to the work. So come on out, and depending on the investment and the way you want your organization seen at the conference, pick the ticket accordingly. But it's important that people have conversations with you and not about you. So you want to be in the room for the happy hour.
So important. That's really so important. Again, it's Madison Nonprofit Day, Friday, November 7th, all day over at True Stage on the west side, which was a beautiful new, I guess it's a couple of years now, but beautiful new building there. And we'll have a link to the registration and to the agenda and everything in the show notes. Prenicia, Clifton, thank you so much for your time today. And thanks for doing this work and bringing Madison Nonprofit Day back.
Oh, no problem. Thanks, Rob. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
And we're back with one of my ridiculous questions, which I think we all enjoy because you all keep asking them. You keep asking me for them. So, what conspiracy theory? It doesn't mean you actually have to believe it, but what conspiracy theory do you wish was true?
Do you wish was true?
Yeah.
This one I do believe, and I do wish it is true. Stevie Wonder can see. There are so many just eyewitness accounts where Stevie Wonder is like, "Oh, hey," and they say the person's name, but there's no conceivable way he should know who it was. Like, there's Shaquille O'Neal, there's Jamie Foxx, Yao Ming.
Yeah, well,
there's so many of these accounts, and those were just 3 of them, and they're all just Stevie Wonder can see. There's no way he can't see. He just readily identifies people without anything. You could be sneaky. He knows it's you. Mm-hmm. Stevie Wonder can see.
You hope that's true.
I do hope that's true.
I hope. And then at the end, like, he tells everybody, he's like, actually, I could see all along. I just didn't want to.
Like, they had the whole biopic of him, you know. They have to remake it.
So I hope the Mandela effect is real. Because...
What do you mean by that?
That, like, there are different... Like, for example, there are, like, Bernstein Bears, right? Mm-hmm. Like, everybody... Some folks, there's, like, hundreds, maybe thousands of folks who remember... Bernstein Bears being spelled one way when it was actually spelled a different way, which in my head means, like, maybe they are right, maybe their experience was real, and therefore there might be an opportunity to think about alternate realities that exist in this world. Sure. And that sometimes they, like, sort of...
I didn't know about this one. Why does it spell Berenstain? I thought it was...
It is? Yeah, I know. It's a, but see, like, I don't remember, I'm like, it was shown in front of me, so, like, I understand, blah, 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 whatever. Mm-hmm. But I kind of wish that was true.
That
their idea of
the different memories were both accurate.
Yeah, yes, because that suggests that maybe there's alternate realities or time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like that, you know, sort of creeps into one timeline versus the other.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch of those things, by the way. There's a
Sinbad
movie.
Yeah, that people
that
remember.
Didn't exist. People remember that. Well, the reason it's called Mandela Effect is because people remember Mandela.
Nelson
Mandela dying in prison.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
But he did it.
Right. All right. So, one conspiracy theory that I don't hope is true that I 100% believe.
That's not the question, but okay, Rob.
Well, this is not a big. This is my own conspiracy theory that the conclusion I came to is that Costco does not actually do tires.
What?
I think it's a front for something. I don't know what it's a front for.
What are you talking about?
They don't do tires.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. I have gone there many times to try to get an appointment and have never successfully gotten my tires done. There's always, like, some reason that they can't do my tires right then. Interesting. And so I think it's like I think it's a front for something. Anyway, but the conspiracy theory that I hope is true is that sports are rigged.
What? Absolutely.
Yeah, because that would explain away why all my teams keep losing.
That's why the Knicks should have won last year.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, Rob.
I mean, it means even like USL League One must be rigged because.
But it's a conspiracy against your teams.
Sometimes.
Most of the time. Because a lot of your teams don't win.
Right.
Though the Packers won.
The Packers are the fix is in for the Packers this year.
Wait, can I talk about something though?
Yeah.
Real quick, so I appreciate that Peacock. I told Rob this. Mm-hmm. Created a TikTok ad for the Packers versus who are they playing on Sunday?
This Sunday?
Yeah, past Sunday.
The Steelers.
The Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, right? And that they in the promo for it, they played the song "Used to Know" over it. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I appreciate the petty that this is and the messy drama that Peacock did with this for Green Bay Packer fans and Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. But you were also very, very excited by it.
Yeah, I was. But also, like, everything...
Fulham never wins.
Well, that's one thing I was gonna mention is Fulham are a very talented team, and they're like 3 points clear of relegation right now, which makes no sense. And they took penalties to beat Wickham from the EFL League One in the EFL Cup this week. But also, like, for Madison was, we needed 2 other teams to lose and us to win to make the playoffs. And both other teams that needed to lose lost. And we not only lost, we lost 5-1. Like, that seems like it's fixed. That seems like somebody's like, make sure Madison loses. Madison, you must lose. And Madison was like, all right, 5 goals. We'll give up. So.
Breaking news.
Mm-hmm.
Super fan.
Yeah. That's a little bit much. I thought you were going to say like Shakespeare was a group project. I thought there was something literally.
No, I don't hope that's true. I hope.
I just meant like something along
literary.
Yeah, that you would.
Nope, it's sports.
No, sports.
Sports. I always forget. Like there's a line and stuff like that.
Ford Madison should be the best team.
I don't know how they should be the best team though.
Should have won last year.
The Knicks should have won last year though.
Mm-hmm.
They should have. I'm a little.
It would have killed Spike Lee. I think he would have died of a heart attack.
Yeah, that's the thing. Whoever's behind the conspiracy is like
trying
to. They're keeping Spike Lee alive.
Yeah.
If the Knicks win, Spike Lee will brain aneurysm, heart attack.
Or do you think?
Happen.
Or do you think like Spike Lee just disappears? Like he just sort of goes away. Like nothing bad happens to him, but he just sort of like I'm here. He ascends.
He's a ghost.
He's been a ghost the entire time. He's been like their guardian, like their Jiminy Cricket, like their guardian angel the entire time, or something like that. And he just starts to like, my job is done.
Have you seen the famous Spike Lee walk in his movies where it's just completely smooth? That's because he's a ghost, and that's how he moves. He doesn't bounce up and down slightly.
The Knicks are done.
Where the idea came from.
When they win, he will, like Rob said, ascend.
The spirit of the Knickerbockers.
I forget that's their names. I wish they would. I gotta get a shirt that says Knickerbockers.
Also, I mean, the Brewers this year were clearly. If it was all natural,
what does that mean? All natural?
The Brewers would be playing in the World Series right now.
But everyone's steroided up.
What does that mean?
No. I mean the NLCS, the Dodgers beating the Brewers was clearly fixed.
It really
when
was.
You say
just
all natural in baseball,
it means,
that has a completely different connotation, and it's Barry Bonds' fault.
Oh, Barry Bonds.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way in a situation that's not rigged that Shohei Ohtani can get 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs in the same game. That's the fix is in clearly. I hope. I hope. This is we're not saying what we believe necessarily. We're saying we hope. I've told myself that clearly that was just rigged, and and the Brewers in my heart are winning the World Series right now.
In your heart.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's all that matters.
Yep.
What you believe in your heart. It feels like a Disney.
They did
ending.
Actually win. Mandela effect.
No. There you go. Alternate universe. You're in the wrong universe.
I've just top timelines.
There you go.
Yeah.
My mother believes that the Mandela effect is even worse than it is because she thinks every celebrity is dead.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, that person's still alive? It's the Mandela effect. It's like, no, that's.
Yeah.
You
But
just
I
haven't
swear
heard
they
from
died.
them.
Or you don't really pay attention to what they're up to because you don't know them.
Exactly.
You don't hang out with them.
I try to explain it to her. It's like, not everything is a Mandela effect. I forgot they
Now,
were
you
alive.
be respectful of your mother and you say, yes, Mom.
No. This one I give her a lot of gruff for.
I believe that. That and other things, I'm sure. We will be back next week, y'all.
365 Amplified is produced and edited by me, Rob Chappell, and is a production of 365 Media Foundation, a nonprofit, local, independent media organization in Madison, Wisconsin. Wherever you're listening to this right now, hit the subscribe or follow button to get new episodes every Friday. And between episodes, get your latest news at madison365.org and follow us on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Threads. Wherever you get your news, we'll be there.